morning from Alcatraz Island. We have arrived for our first tour stop of the day. We are on, do you know what side of the island we're on, Craig?
The northwest.
Northwest side. What's your impression so far, Craig?
Sturdy.
Sturdy. This is much bigger than we thought it was going to be. We just watched a video and they were like, yeah, most people think that, you know, they're going to see the cell house and maybe a couple other things, but this is like a really big island. Apparently lots of people lived on here, like all the guards obviously, but then their families were here with them too. I just kind of assumed that they would, like, you know, ferry in, yeah, like stay a couple of nights on site, like being on duty, and then go home to their families. So apparently like people grew up here.
He asked about sharks, folks, sorry. Your dad told a story about two robbers escaping Alcatraz. Continue. Like, I'm in a difficult situation, folks. There are no great white sharks in the bay. There are some type of sharks. The sharks are bottom dwelling, so you never see them. Great white sharks are in the ocean, and your father might have been talking about the great white shark that was spotted here in 2015. In 2015, there was a drought. The drought didn't let any fresh water come in, so the water matched more the temperatures of the ocean. So you did see a great white shark, and if you Google 2015 YouTube Alcatraz shark, you might see this video.
So currently we're in the courtyard where all the family and residential housing areas were, and we found a staircase. It's really more of like a ladder, you might say. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty much a straight down drop. Yeah, hard pass for me. It's kind of interesting, they've named their rows after like major streets. So this one was Broadway, and then the last one was Michigan Avenue. It's kind of funny. Yeah. These rooms are tiny. I feel bad for complaining about my college dorm room now. So there's the cell house right there, and now we are in the courtyard area where people could come outside once a week to enjoy the sun. So hopefully it wasn't raining that day. It'd be kind of miserable. So we just left Alcatraz. We made it back to the bay and we're heading over to Pier 39, I think, which is kind of a touristy area, but that's okay. On the boat you were saying that the Alcatraz Island surprised you. In what way would you say?
There's more to it. I thought it was just like a single prison, but there's a whole lot there.
Yeah, no, I was impressed.
Yeah,
Definitely,
cool.
definitely the #1 tourist destination in this area. Alrighty, so we have made it back to our hotel room for the evening. Well, not for the evening. We're getting ready to go out to dinner here in about 20 minutes, but I know we didn't get a chance to really walk you through everywhere that we went, and so I kind of wanted just to catch you up on everything that we did. So I think we left off with the point where we came back from Alcatraz, and we walked over to Pier 39, which was basically like the maritime version of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. But I did end up getting my tourist purchase of the trip. This will likely be the, I don't know, unless I get a t-shirt too, which I do sometimes, but I love these like denim looking material hats, and I don't have a blue one yet, so I have a maroon one and a gray one that I wear all the time. So I'm excited about that. It was so windy anyway, and my hair was just blustering all over the place, so it needed to be done. I don't really know that there's much to do in Pier 39. I don't really think it lives up to the hype. There was like a Hard Rock and a Bubba Gump and things like that. So if you're into that sort of touristy stuff, might be the place for you. But really the only reason to visit Pier 39 is if, I don't know, you like sea lions that bask in the sun all the time, and you really enjoy like saltwater taffy, things like that. So we were starving by this point and decided to head to our first foodie stop of the day, which was the Cod Mother. Nice little feminist touch in that name, I suppose. Cod Mother Fish and Chip Shop. We got there and Craig's like, this is a food truck. And then I confirmed that this is a food truck that stays there all year round. I mean, we were so hungry that anything would have been delicious at that point, but I thought the fish and chips were pretty good, and they were extremely hot and crispy, but nice and flaky and fluffy on the inside. So the fries were just okay. I've also been really impressed that the city has Coke Zero everywhere. It seems like we go places all the time at home and ask for, I have my little mantra down. I'm like, excuse me, do you have Coke Zero? And they're like, oh no, we have Diet Coke. And I'm like, that's okay, give me a regular Coke, because I just don't like Diet Coke, so I would still rather drink the full sugar version. So we kind of shared everything today because there was a lot of stuff that we wanted to taste, or that I wanted to taste, and he obliged. He doesn't usually want to share, so he's being nice. So then after that, we hit up another food stop. So this is my 5th trip to California ever, and today was the very first time I ever had In-N-Out Burger. And it was freaking busy. I don't understand what. There were a lot of people in like college marching band jackets that were there, so there's got to be some sort of event happening in town. But oh my gosh, I saw a sign while I was in there. It said the seating capacity was 65 people. Definitely over capacity. Fire marshals probably might have something to say about that, but it's surprising. It's the only In-N-Out Burger that's in this side of town. They have some on the south side of San Francisco, but it's definitely not part of the touristy area in town, which was kind of surprising. But I guess it makes sense why it was so busy. So I thought it was just kind of okay. I mean, I've had a lot of burgers. Someone likes burgers, so we eat burgers a lot.
Fast food burger.
Yeah, like, I don't know, Five Guys is probably
Much better.
Much better. Yeah. It was just, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the appeal is to In-N-Out Burger. Do you know why people like it?
It's kind of like Chick-fil-A. It's like a little bit classier fast
It's
food.
definitely not like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is at least delicious. Anyway, I didn't quite see what the hype was about it, but that's okay. At least I can say that I've tried it now. I can check it off my list like a good California traveler. After we went to In-N-Out Burger, we ventured over to Ghirardelli Square, and we saw that the Ghirardelli shop had like a 45-minute wait just to get in the door. So we made a beeline for a brewing company that we saw like way tucked away back in the back corner. And that was good. They gave us like 3 different stickers, which are super cute. We have a sticker collection at home, this big poster board that we keep in our basement, and we put stickers from all these breweries that we visit on there. I thought the beer was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't anything like spectacular. They had a beer on tap that 100% of the proceeds went to victims of the California wildfires. You know, it's kind of nice. You would expect like maybe, you know, 10% of sales, maybe a quarter of the sales to go towards a charity like that. So it's nice to see people giving back. After that, we went into the Ghirardelli Marketplace location, which is different than they have like a cafe up front. But I think they kind of do the same things. The Marketplace store is just a little bit bigger, but they still have a Sunday bar in there if you want to get ice cream, which there was another 45-minute wait for the Sunday bar. So it kind of looked like you had to wait in line to get in the door. And then once we finally made it into the doorway, I was like, I don't think we need to stand in this line. So we left and just shopped around. So they have this big area, I don't know what to call it, like kind of a bar, I guess, like a buffet, we'll call it a buffet of chocolate squares. And they were just like bins in different layers of all the different flavors and fillings that they have. So naturally we had to fill a bucket. So there was this really nice employee who was standing next to the bins, and she basically just gave us like the inside scoop. She was filling one of the bins, and we had mentioned that we really like dark chocolate, and then Craig was like, oh, I wonder if they have dark chocolate filled with caramel. And she's like, oh, they're out, but there's a box underneath here. And so she gets this box out and gives us a couple, and then she walked away. And then we decided, oh, we should probably fill this even more, because we do love caramel and dark chocolate. So we like got in ourselves underneath the countertop and got some more out for ourselves. But she did give us the inside scoop. So we grabbed a plastic container off, and she's like, oh, you want to be strategic by how you fill that, because you can really, you know, fit a lot in there if you do it just right. And I said, that sounds like a job for my engineering husband. So lo and behold, we have this perfectly packaged Ghirardelli clear plastic container. I wish it would focus. There we go. So as you can see, is packaged to the brim, perfectly fitting. We need to count how many we ended up getting. You think it's 30? To put it in perspective again, so the half-pound containers that you could fill with your assortment, they were gonna charge you like $10.50 or $11. $10.50 for a half-pound. They had a scale, you could weigh it. And so, but these are a fixed price, however many you can fit in here. So we got this for $15. And that saves us about $5 if you compare their half-pound pricing. So I'd say we did good. After we left Ghirardelli Square, we did one more tourist thing for the day, which was head over to Lombard Street. So Lombard Street is this crazy zigzag road that you can drive down, and it's amazing. These beautiful houses line the road. You don't actually, I feel like you don't typically see those when you look at pictures of Lombard Street. You just see the plantation and things like that they've like kind of nestled into the street. But there's some really gorgeous houses in that area. Anyway, so we trekked up this like almost vertical incline to get to Lombard Street. I literally had sweat all over my face, and we'll not be posting the first round of photos that we took once we got to the top. But going down it was an interesting experience, and then we got to the bottom and got to see the whole picture. So definitely don't pass that up if you ever come to San Francisco. I think it would have been neat to drive, but it was just as neat to walk. And there were these idiot people that just kept like walking down the middle of the road. I'm like, this is an actual road, and people drive on this as a tourist attraction too. So like, you can't just be walking in the street, people, come on. So anyway, we're back at the hotel now and just cleaning up before dinner. I have convinced Craig that he's gonna enjoy this Russian restaurant called Cafe Europa, which I'm very much looking forward to. I'm planning on indulging in some pierogies and also some cabbage rolls. That sounds very good to me. There's actually a picture of the cabbage rolls when I was showing Craig this restaurant last night, and the plate had like, you know, the cabbage rolls and then a big bed of marinara sauce over the top. And he was like, well, that looks delicious, I would eat that. And then I told him it was cabbage rolls, and I think he actually gagged. So we're not there yet with the cabbage, but I'm at least excited that he's agreed to go to this restaurant so I can enjoy them. He'll probably be getting like the schnitzel or something along those lines. So in any case, probably gonna be taking it easy tonight since I'm still sick. Hopefully gonna be kicking this cold here soon, and maybe we'll get you a little sneak peek of what this restaurant was like and tell you what we think. So continuing just like the theme of last night, when I thought I was done, turns out I wasn't. We ran into some more issues with dinner, again, kind of like last night, but in a different way this time. So I was telling you how excited I was to go to Cafe Europa, and then we take this Uber ride all the way out there. It takes like 15 or 20 minutes. We get there, and it's quiet. There's like, you know, we have a reservation for 7:45, and almost all the tables are empty. There's just one table at the front that has like a group of 4 that looks like they're finishing up. And the bartender greets us and asks if he can help us, and I told him that we had a dinner reservation. He's like, let me go check in the in the kitchen. So then he comes back and he's like, yeah, they've already closed down the kitchen. It's like 7:45. I don't know who finishes dinner regularly before 7:45, but I'm pretty sure that's a normal dinner time. And especially if you're expecting people to come because they've got a reservation, like, you should know. So I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get my pierogies and cabbage rolls, but we quickly just walked down the street. We found a really good sushi restaurant that had good reviews on Yelp, and that ended up being great. So we had some nigiri, and it was so tender. The fish was so easy to bite into, which is great. And the miso soup was just what I needed for my sore throat. And we ended up trying a hand roll, which is called temaki, if you're familiar with sushi. So that was the first time we'd ever had one of those. We typically stick to just regular maki or makai, I don't know how they say it, which is like your traditional round sushi roll. And then the nigiri is the fish over a bed of rice. So that's what we normally get, but we thought we would try this since I don't think I've seen it on the menu anywhere at any of our regular sushi restaurants, and it's not really what I expected. So the tamaki kind of looks like a mini ice cream cone if the ice cream cone was made out of seaweed is what it is, not sea paper. And so we got one that was filled with rice and spicy tuna and cucumber and sprouts. And I don't know why, for some reason I just expected it to be crunchy on the outside, and the seaweed was just like kind of soggy and soft. So we ended up not finishing that one, but I was glad to have tried it because it was something I was very curious about. And we, of course, finished off our meal with some dessert, which was mochi. This was Craig's first mochi experience, my second. I had just had it for the first time actually about 3 or 4 days ago back in Indianapolis. So, but mochi is nice. It's like ice cream, but it's kind of wrapped in like a soft dough ball. So I don't know, it's different, but it's good. So some of the sushi we had was pretty spicy, so it really put out the flames. But we're gonna go to bed now because we are exhausted from a long day of walking and exploring. So, but we'll be back at it tomorrow. So thanks again for keeping up with us, and if you are enjoying watching my videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Have a good night.